The Southern Indian food at Ganesh's place reminds him of home. Here, the spices and aromas embroider a tapestry of flavors on every plate. In Sunnyvale, it's called Madras Café.
To make a dosa, it is not easy. It is an art. It takes a lot of time to create a perfect dosa. My name is Ramamoorthy. Everybody goes with Ram. My restaurant name is Madras Café. We named our restaurant as Madras Café because that's what I grew up. Everybody knows Madras because that's one of the South Indian city, and anything from that name reflects the South Indian flavors. Quality and taste is very important to us because that's the reason we are making every item. We have to bring out the real South Indian flavor from India for the local Indian community. We have three sauces. One is tomato, another one is cilantro, another one is coconut. These three sauces will go with all the items. Both Indian people and European and local people, once they eat our food, they have to appreciate the amount of importance we given to the flavor of the South Indian food. We feel very happy when the customers say that it's awesome, this food is really, really tasty and quality. We liked it, we love it.
All right, Ganesh, let's talk a little bit about your background and maybe the difference between Northern Indian food and Southern.
So I grew up in the southern part of India in Bangalore, and my parents come from Madras, which is a region in India called Tamil Nadu. And the South Indian and North Indian cuisine is quite different in terms of the spices, in terms of the staple food.
So having grown up with this as a background, that's a high bar to set for Madras Café, isn't it?
That's one of the reasons I honed in on that restaurant, because you go to that restaurant for the food, plain and simple. And it's authentic, it represents the Tamil Nadu region. The choice of the dishes, the way it's prepared, it reminds me of how my mom cooks. So their claim to fame is the different varieties of dosas. So there's the masala dosa, which has a filling of potato and onions inside the dosa itself. And they make it really fresh and really well, like in terms of the potatoes that are mashable with the onions, and it's one entity as opposed to the potatoes and the onions staring at each other.
It's a face-off.
Yeah, and so they also have plain dosas where if you don't feel like potatoes and onions, you don't have to have the filling. And there's also rava dosa, which is made of cream of wheat and rice flour, which takes a longer time to cook because you have to cook it in low flame. Right. And so there's more preparation involved for it. And then the uttapam is an open-faced pancake, which
a little thicker, a little dense
thicker,
than the dosa.
It's more fermented. And usually in South Indian households, if they have the dosa flour left over and it's fermented for a second day, they end up making it as uttapam so that they don't waste their flour.
What did you have, David?
I had the idli, and I don't know what these are made of.
They're also made of rice and lentil flours, but they're steamed.
Just wonderful stuff. White and puffy and really great texture. So the first thing I noticed when I got there was that it's full of Indians, so I knew this was the real deal. But you order at the cashier, and I was completely unprepared. And the menu doesn't have any descriptions. And so I was like,
Yeah, I mean, it's best to go with somebody who knows what's going on, initially, at least for the first time. But it's very functional. You just order whatever you want to order, and they bring it to you.
Yeah.
So in terms of ambiance,
there's none.
It's all about
that's
the
not
food.
the focus.
Right. What about you, Michelle? What did you have?
I mean, the food was fantastic. It was packed, which I find always is a compliment for a restaurant, of course, too. Just full of people. We were there Friday night, so when we got there, we put our order in, sort of guessing. We asked the person behind the counter if she had any recommendations, and she didn't give us a lot of feedback, so we kind of went on our own a little bit. But right next door is a Madras grocery.
Yes.
So while we were waiting, we just hopped right over there and kind of explored. So the wait for our table after we ordered didn't feel so bad because it was kind of a fun place to go by. So, and we had 2 dosas, the masala dosa, and then she recommended also the Myanmar.
Mysore.
So much good flavor, great value, big, beautiful roll. We were just tearing off chunks and dipping it in the sauces. Couldn't ask for fresher food.
Yeah, the hallmark of a good South Indian restaurant is the chutneys. So you can measure the quality of a restaurant and the authenticity of the restaurant in terms of the chutneys. If you don't get that right, next.
They were really good.
Right. Yeah. The coconut one in particular was a little unique, but very nice.
Yeah, it's creamy and it's also crunchy. And they also have wheat-based dishes like puri and chapati. Puri is deep fried, which comes out puffy on one side and crispy. On the other side, it's soft.
That might have been our favorite dish, just because the texture of the bread was just so fluffy and flaky, but it was so much good, authentic flavor. We could see there were whole seeds in the dal, and that was a runaway hit. I had to restrain myself from just polishing off one of those circles
Oh, I
myself.
thought you said I had to restrain the others from polishing off your
Well,
portion
that
of it.
too. You know?
Yeah, that's the one where it comes out puffy and you poke a hole into it and intense steam just comes out of there.
I had the vegetable dosa. Thing's a baseball bat. I had no idea what was coming. Crispy and fresh. Beautiful vegetables inside. Onions, green peas, carrots, some potatoes as well. Some chilies.
All right, Ganesh, your spot. Give us a quick summary.
Authentic South Indian homey cuisine. You can be a regular there.
All right, Michelle?
If you're looking for a quick, really hearty meal, definitely have to stop by for lunch or dinner.
Okay, and David?
The real deal. Indian food, great value, great food.
All right, if you would like to try Madras Café, it's located on El Camino Real at Bernardo Avenue in Sunnyvale. Telephone number is 408-737-2323. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Reservations are not accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $15.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by
Safe Catch Elite Wild Tuna. Great for athletes, kids, and pregnancy. Safe Catch tests each and every fish for mercury. Available at nearby stores. Walmart Global E-Commerce, with small, agile work teams, is focused on big data, engineering, and e-commerce innovations. Careers available at walmartlabs.com. Sutter Health CPMC, investing in community care for more than 150 years, including 2 new smart hospitals. Your city, your hospital. CPMC2020.org.
Natural Mattress Systems from European Sleepworks, working to improve comfort and wellness for over 40 years. European Sleepworks in Berkeley, online at sleepworks.com. Oakland International Airport, now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com. IRG has over 250 types of natural stone choices in stock today. IRG in Brisbane and Dublin, or at marblecompany.com.